Hey guys, former film student back with another video, and as someone who openly discusses how much I love movies and cinema, I get asked for recommendations a lot, from family members, from friends, so I thought it would be a fun idea to make a series where each episode I recommend a couple films that I really enjoy and I think that you might too. Obviously not every film I recommend is going to resonate with everyone, though if I can recommend at least one film to one person that they really enjoy, I'll consider this a success. So for episode 1, I thought I would recommend some foreign language films. Something I see asked a lot is I love movies, I've even delved into some independent stuff, but I want to start watching foreign films. Where should I begin? And I personally think it's a shame that a majority of Americans who enjoy cinema only watch what comes out in their native country, when in actuality, every year other countries produce some of the year's best films. So today I'm going to just go over some really great foreign language films that I think most can enjoy, so let's begin. So the first film I'm going to recommend is probably the most famous of the bunch and the most easily accessible, and that's 2019's Best Picture winner, Parasite. If you're looking for an introduction into foreign language films, this is a great place to start. The film is directed by Bong Joon-ho, and I could delve into the plot, but this is a film that's better off with you knowing nothing about it. It's a great thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat throughout the entire film, while also boasting some really great social commentary on class structure and how similar events can be seen from a multitude of different perspectives. The film is gorgeously shot, boasting some beautiful composition. The performances across the board are incredible, especially from my second favorite Korean actor, Kang Ho-sung, who plays the father of the poor family in the film. All around, this is a masterclass in directing and filmmaking as a whole. It's no surprise that this film was able to resonate with both foreign and American audiences, becoming the first international film to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards. It's still on Hulu, I believe, so definitely check it out. It's one of the best films of 2019 and probably one of the best films of the decade. It's a bona fide classic already, and I think it's going to be talked about for years to come. Give it a watch.
원래 이런 증상이 이렇게 나타나면은 방으로 내가 뛰어들어가가지고 약을 먹으면 되는데 갑자기 이러니까 뭐 경황이 없어서 내가 방에 어디다 뒀는지 모르겠더라고.
사모님, 제 뒤에 보이는 이분 혹시 저기?
어머, 우리 아줌마네요?
아이고 맞구나 이거 어떡하지 이거? 응? 나 이분 얼굴이 긴가민가 해가지고요. 아니 저는 그 거실에 올라갔을 때 한 두어 번 본 게 그게 전부다 보니까.
여기 병원에서 찍으신 거네?
The second film I'm going to recommend is another film from South Korea, I Saw the Devil. This film is intense. This is a revenge thriller from director Kim Ji-woon and tells the story of a man hunting down his wife's killer. It sounds very basic from the initial premise, however, the execution of how this seemingly by-the-numbers revenge thriller plays out is super unique and interesting. I don't want to spoil too much about the film or its story beats, just know that the film goes in directions you don't expect, and just when you think you have the film figured out, it goes in a completely different direction. There is some incredible cinematography in this film, particularly a fight scene inside a car that I'm completely baffled at how they were able to film it. This film also contains my favorite South Korean actor and one of my favorite actors period, Min-sik Choi, who gives one of the best performances of the decade. Overall, this film is pretty incredible, and if you're a fan of white-knuckle thrillers that bring something new to the genre, this one is a must-see.
내가 볼 때 아이씨 너무 운이 없는 것 같아.
Don't worry, this is the last South Korean film I'll mention on this list, but I couldn't forgive myself if I didn't mention this one. The next film I'm recommending is the 2003 South Korean masterpiece Oldboy by director Chan-wook Park. This film is absolutely balls to the walls insane. If you like clean stories that aren't too crazy or out of this world, then this will not be your cup of tea. This film pushes boundaries in a multitude of ways, but for that very reason, there's no other film like it. Another film that I don't want to talk about the plot too much because it'll ruin the experience, but all I'll tell you is that it's another revenge thriller of sorts, but this isn't a simple revenge film. There's a layer of mystery that plagues this movie. As it progresses, the pieces start to fill in, but similar to my previous recommendation, just when you think the film is going in a certain direction, it completely flips the switch. It's absolutely brilliant from a story standpoint, and in terms of its visual presentation, it's one of the best films I've ever seen. The hallway fight scene, which has inspired several other action scenes. If you're a fan of Netflix's Daredevil and the famous hallway fight scene from Season 1, Episode 2, it draws heavy inspiration from Oldboy. Min-sik Choi, who I mentioned is my favorite South Korean actor, plays the main character in this film, and the amount and plethora of different emotions he conveys in this film is truly incredible. One of the best performances I have ever seen in a film. Probably top 5. If I had to pick top 5 performances, it would definitely make its way into that. It's one of those films that when it's finished, you just have to sort of sit back in silence for several minutes to reflect on what you've just watched. Moving on from South Korean films, we have a film from French-Canadian director Denis Villeneuve, whom I consider the best director of the 2010s. Seriously, this guy went on an incredible string of films from the last decade, from Prisoners to Enemy to Sicario to Arrival to Blade Runner 2049. And I'm recommending his 2010 film Insoldis. This film is an emotional gut punch, telling the story of a brother and sister who are tasked with delivering a letter to their father and long-lost brother, while simultaneously delving into the chaotic and tragic life of their mother. This film is equal parts a drama as it is also a war film. There are scenes in this film that make you feel empty inside, and as if all the life in the world was sucked out of you. So if you're not a fan of heavy films, you may want to skip this one. This is a truly emotional journey from start to finish, and you may need a hot shower and a long nap after finishing this one. The film has incredible performances across the board, great music, impressive direction, and overall is a breathtaking piece of cinema. I highly recommend giving this one a watch. I didn't think that I would want to go back to Denis' earlier work, as it probably wouldn't be as impressive as his more recent films. However, I was blown away when I finished watching this movie.
يعني هون احنا انتهينا بالدرب، هون دورهم وهون بالدرب، كل ألف مبروك يا سيدي، الله يرضى عليك، الله يخليك، خلي رحمة في قلبك يا سيدي، الله يرضى في قلبك، خلي رحمة يا سيدي، الله يرضى عليك يا سيدي. شو يعني انت شو حاسب نفسك؟ شو كلامك هذا؟ شو يعني انت شو مالك وعنك؟
The next film I'm going to recommend is a 2015 crime thriller from Germany called Victoria. The best part about this film is the fact that it all happens in one long continuous shot. Now I know what you're thinking, I've seen that before. Birdman did it back in 2014, 1917 did it last year, it's been done before. Not like this. Whereas in all those other films, the movie is filmed with hidden cuts and edits to appear as if it's one long continuous shot, Victoria is actually a 2-hour film all comprised of one shot, no hidden edits or cuts. It's unbelievably impressive from a visual standpoint and has such a high energy and quick moving pace that it flies by in the blink of an eye. The story follows a young woman who stumbles across 3 brothers at a club, and from there the night gets worse and worse as she's roped into their illegal affairs. Definitely check this one out just for the visuals alone, but the story is pretty fun, it's exciting, and it definitely is a movie that you guys need to check out. The last film I'm going to recommend is probably the least accessible film on this list, but it's one that has stuck with me since I saw it back in my freshman year of college. It's a 1960s black and white Italian drama titled Il Posto. A realistic and depressing look at what it feels like to enter the workforce, something that I myself am experiencing right now, the film is definitely a slower paced piece of cinema. It's very character driven and focuses on Domenico as he takes on a new job as a messenger at a big company, soon realizing he's setting himself up for a lifetime of working a soulless job. The film, as mentioned, is incredibly depressing but beautifully told. It's a very slow drama with little to no plot, but if you're a fan of films that take a realistic look at human experiences and appreciate fantastic filmmaking and smaller scale stories about real people, this one might be for you. Like I said, it's easily the slowest, least exciting, and probably the least accessible film on this list, but it's one that's themes and overall message have resonated with me since I saw it 5 years ago.
Buono.
Un po' amaro.
Tocchi de qua, vedi cosa fanno.
That is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you end up watching one of these films and what your thoughts are on it. I would love to hear back from you guys, and it would mean a lot if I recommend a film to you guys and you end up loving it, so let me know. I'll be doing more of these videos in the future, each with a different topic. I'd like to do one that's more genre-based, introducing people to certain films if they want to break into maybe the horror genre, or thrillers, or independent films. Stuff like that. I would love to do more of these types of videos, so look forward to that. As always, if you liked the video, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to me if you want to hear more from me, and as always, I will see you guys on the next video.